Jason, also known as the Boss of Bali, welcome to Chewing the Fat.
I'm super excited to be here, Frank. It's a highlight of my week.
I love that. And you're a man of brand. So of course you've asked me to make a nasi goreng today.
Yes.
And like I said to you in the kitchen, this one I was nervous about. I had to be honest, I've scanned recipes very quickly to try and essentially, what does it look like to make a nasi goreng? And I've created the Frank version of nasi goreng with prawns and a nice little egg there.
It looks sensational.
Dig on in, have a little bite, mate.
Let's have a taste test, eh?
You can't lie to me, all right?
Oh, God. How good is this? Do you mind if I have some more?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
We'll warn you if there's parsley in your teeth.
It's delicious, so much flavour.
Good flavour?
I think you need to open an Indonesian restaurant in Coco or Bali.
What's the one thing I could do differently once you've finished that egg? What's missing?
I love how you got the boiled egg.
Yep.
Usually it's fried in
Yes.
Indonesia. It's good. Maybe you could add a satay stick, which is quite common.
Yes.
Having the prawns in there, delicious. Just so much flavour.
Love that.
It's amazing.
I guess where I want to start, and it's something, I was looking at your content, a lot of people start this, but I want to find it from a different angle is, today, the Boss of Bali Instagram has 2.3 million followers. What's the biggest impact that you think that's made on your life and where you are?
I really think, this page was all about, it was a passion project. So it was to celebrate the luxury of Bali, inspire people to travel there and add value that way. Mm-hmm. It was never to monetize. It was always to get people excited about Bali and give that as an option for people to visit instead of another country. So, I went there 20 years ago for my honeymoon, fell in love with the place, ended up falling into a role working for a luxury travel company in Australia. And my job was to go to Bali and negotiate deals with hotels and promote them on our TV show, newspaper, social media, etc. And I was never that person to take the beautiful pictures that you see because I was too busy working back-to-back meetings there Monday to Friday, out on Saturday, no time. So I thought, why don't I create a page to inspire people to travel to Bali by connecting content creators with luxury hotels, and they would create the content and I would repost it, push it through my network and help it go viral. So the content creators would create the content, I'd help promote it and repost it and push it through those networks. So that's sort of how it all started. And but I think going back to your question is, just inspiring people to travel to Bali and see the beauty, because there's so much to Bali, so much to offer.
Agreed. And when you think about that, the word you've just said, inspiring people, like, why do you think that resonates with you? Why did that drive you?
I think it's the people in Bali is that's the X factor about Bali. So much to do there, so much to see, but that really, getting people over there to see how beautiful it is, how beautiful the people are, how humble they are, and it keeps you very grounded. We live in an amazing country like Australia, and we're so spoilt. So it's good to go to developing countries and see how hard they have it as well, and how lucky we are.
I actually really like that, and it's something we haven't spoken about the idea of the people. Do you have any stories? Because in reality, 2.3 million, we'll dig deeper into that. But the impact that can create through how many people would be funneling into the country is amazing. Do you have any stories in terms of you've spoken to a local and they've literally said to you, Jason, what you've done here is credit X, Y, and Z? Do you have anything like that?
Helping, look, I help. There's so many different people that help the Balinese people, and I'm just a tiny part of it. Might seem big, but there's so many amazing people that help Bali in different ways. And I think, going and seeing how the villages operate, seeing the underprivileged people, making a difference to them and seeing a smile on their face is awesome. And if we can all do that and help them in that way and have a great time as well, it's very satisfying on my side.
I love that. And I'm gonna keep drilling in, but like, so like, what is it that's created you, that you seeing that impact in people's life that gives you that drive? Like, would you think there's something that stems from your childhood? Like, what is that for you that has created that burning fire to help people in Bali and bring that?
I just think it's sort of been Bali's sort of been a passion of mine. You know, it's such a great place to go. Australians love it, and I think, yeah, it's really the people that have, yeah, helping others, helping people. I think that's sort of, as you get older and wiser, you just want to help people and help elevate people as well at the same time. And whether it's someone here or someone in Bali, or someone reaching out to my DMs from around the world, yeah, I think just helping people is sort of where my mindset is at the moment, and us sort of adding value, and a byproduct of that is other benefits as well. So
awesome. And so let's dig into that, because it's something we've spoken about, and it's something that when we first met, I was kind of blown away with. Is what I didn't realize is what that actually means in today's world to have a following, have an audience of that size and scale. Like, talk me through, like, what is like that moment where you got a DM that you're like, whoa, this person has reached out to me, and it's through Instagram of what I've done.
yeah. So I built my brand over the last, sort of 5-10 years, but really aggressively over the last 5 years, especially with COVID. A lot of people at home, everyone on their phones, left, right, and center, and building relationships that way.
Yeah.
So I would DM, 100 people a day, reach out to them, say, hi, my name's Jason, love what you're doing. If you ever decide to come to Bali, please reach out. Would love to VIP you and look after you, and sort of add value to people and expect nothing in return.
Was there a specific person that you either responded to or hit you up that you went, whoa, like, I'm onto something here?
Yeah. I don't like to mention people, but there are some certain people that you've reached out to, and I've built some incredible connections with. Whether it doesn't matter if they got 1 follower or 20 million followers. It's all about value to me. And but yeah, there are some people that have reached out to me, and you have gone, wow, this is awesome. The power of social media, and the power of building a brand. It can take you to places and meet people that you've never would have dreamt of meeting in your life. Mm-hmm. And I've been fortunate enough to sort of build that brand, and out of that, indirectly, all these other opportunities have come up, or meet these people, go meet these people. These people would love to have you here. And it just sort of, it's all about having good intentions. If you have good intentions, and you're willing to network and meet new people, social media can be so powerful, so powerful. So that's what I love. I essentially use Instagram is essentially my CV. So people ask me for a business card. I don't have a business card. That's my business card. And then it sort of leads to the conversation of different opportunities and segues.
So I feel like the audience might be playing a game of Guess Who here to try and figure out who it is. So we're not gonna go into it, but I think everybody wants to know: are we talking celebrities? Are we talking big status? Are we, like, any of those high level things, or we can park that?
Yeah. So I work close. When people ask me what I do, it's a bit convoluted. So it's like, well, the best way to explain it is I connect celebrities with luxury hotels in Bali and beyond. So that's sort of what I position myself as, the brand. And these celebrities would be celebrities, athletes from Australia, from across, internationally, from all walks of life. So some people like to keep it on the down low. So I don't like sort of name dropping, but yeah, some super high profile people, some people under the radar that have done really well in life. And yeah, people from all walks of life. So
Awesome. Well, I'll put away the Guess Who board for now. we'll park that one. We got it.
Frank is one of them. Frank, I must say, Frank is one of those people. So if I can,
Thank you, sir. So let's go let's kind of extrapolate out. So you've gotten to where you are. You've obviously talked about the last 5 years is where you've started to really push pedal to the metal. I want to extrapolate out. It's 10 years from now. Like, what do you think this brand has created for you? And let's from a place of reflection. What has success of the Boss of Bali done for you?
so what it's done, it's allowed me to build my own personal brand, which in turn opens the doors to so many different opportunities out there in the next 10, 20 years and meeting people. So, for example, I was, had lunch with some ambassadors in Canberra at their houses, meeting diplomats, meeting CEOs of royal families. This stuff I love. I love meeting new people. I love hearing about the journey. How can I add value to them? That's what I love doing. So if I can get to that stage where I'm building this amazing ecosystem of awesome people around the world, for me, that's where I want to get to, and that's a journey I'm on. So, yeah, I love networking, love meeting new people, and that's where the magic happens after that.
Awesome, love that. So. You know what? You've given us some of those names, and they've got me excited. So thinking about starting a page today, right? What would you have to do differently to get to where you are, if anything?
Yeah, so anyone can start a page today. The growth it's a lot harder to grow on Instagram these days with algorithms and maturity of Instagram versus another platform such as TikTok, where you can grow a lot easier. So it's all about finding your passion and what you're passionate about and sticking to that, and then collaborating with content creators, with companies that are in the similar field, where you can add value to them. Because at the end of the day, all these companies, they all get hundreds of DMs. These content creators, they all do, and it's a matter of how can you add value to them. If you're just calling them and asking them or DMing them, I want this, this, and this, then most likely not going to answer. You have to come up with a strategy where 99% of people aren't thinking, and find that strategy that can add value to that person. So sort of being strategic around that, and doing a lot of collaborations and shout outs, and that's how I built my page with celebrities and collaborating with hotels, massive travel pages. So yeah, I've got some amazing relationships there, and I think that's what I would recommend. And it's never too late to do it as well. So yeah.
Awesome. And so unpacking, so for that, the audience is they hear the word adding value. You and I are probably similar. We know exactly what that looks like in terms of, we just extrapolate it out and we know, okay, these are the things you can do. From a takeaway standpoint, what is adding value from that? You've just started your Instagram page. You want to start collaborating with people. What is adding value to another person?
So adding value, for example, if it's a hotel, and you want to work with the hotel, or you want to, you could approach them, say, hey, look, I'm just starting my page out, would love to collaborate with you, love to come and film some content, or I'm showcasing the best 10 hotels in whichever country, would love to have a chat with you to see where I can add value there. You could work for them, you could do some intern stuff. There's different ways where you can add value to that particular company or hotel or business, and I think you've got to be able to put in the hard yards to get to get there and show value to them in that way. So it could be working for nothing, doing some stuff for free in the meantime to show them your worth and show them that you're hungry and you're passionate about it, and you're not just there for the money or a free stay or
to leverage their audience for you, so you can go, people can sniff that out.
Yeah, it's got to be a two-way street. So it's like most salespeople, they're door knocking. Hey, we have this to sell. blah, blah, blah. It's, people don't respond to that. It's like, especially last sort of 10 years in my 20 plus year career, it's all about, working out how you can give value to that person. I remember my first sales job, it was 15 appointments and I was just going in there telling them what we sell and do. And I didn't get a sale out of all those until the 15th meeting, and I cold called this business, and eventually I got it, which was amazing. And the same thing happened the week after, no sales. And the process was, I was just telling people what we do and not solving a solution or not adding value in their eyes. I was just selling them something. So it's changing that mindset and going in with a different strategy, and you'll find it works quite well. So
that's awesome. And so talk me through that. So like that, when I hear you say that you were a salesperson and then through Instagram, like the reality is like whenever we interact with people, we are selling something. We're like, in terms of like we're selling ourselves, or like when we're like leading people, we're selling them, the kind of the dream to come along, like in the right way possible. I'm saying, and so I think that the trait of having the ability to do sales, which can lead to marketing, is super important. And so my question for you is, how did you grow in that sales journey? Like, where did you learn it from someone? Did you have mentors? What did that look like?
Great question. So my first job was was working in advertising, and I was door knocking on businesses. So when you go to Woolworths, you would get a receipt, and on the back would be these ads. So I was selling the ads on the back, which was a very hard sell, right? You would think, who reads these receipts? And you're not selling this to me? Not you, exactly. So that was a really tough sell, but that was the best job for me because it taught me how to sell, it taught me to handle rejection, and it taught me how to build relationships. And over 8-9 years, I worked in that job and I loved it and I crushed it. And I knew if I could sell that was quite a hard gig. I knew I could go well where I went, wherever my next journey was.
That's so cool.
Then it was sort of online, working for a online company, advertising company, and rode that wave, and that was huge. And it was all about, door knocking and building these relationships, which I'd learnt, and hard work, calling 60, 80, 100 people a day, getting 5 appointments out of that, and then closing X amount. It was just numbers. So it taught me all that work ethic to work hard and never give up. And that's the best thing that I learnt out of my sort of sales career. And then from that, sort of evolved into luxury travel and falling into that, and then sort of building the relationships there with hotels and finding the way where you can add value to them and build the relationship. So it's all about, especially in Bali, it's all about relationships and trust. If they see you just there to sell, and they're very much about trust and relationships. So as a lot of countries are, people are.
Of course. So I think when I first met you, Jason, I think the thing that I was astounded by, right, is so from the surface level, you see that number, you see that audience, and I guess you don't realize that level of energy and effort that goes into it day by day. You're truly, like, to your point there, you're sending 100 DMs a day. It's like some people will be mind blown because they might posting once a day, answering 3 comments, and that's it. Like, I think what's really interesting for myself and other people trying to grow their audience is, like, what does it take? Like, what does it take today in Jason's life? Like, how much energy and effort do you put into your page per day?
Lots of hours. Yeah, I mean, when you're posting, you're looking at, like, that's taking a few hours of your time, and then commenting and replying to everyone as well. So there's a lot of time involved in that, but in doing that, you keep customers engaged. They feel important. They're more inclined to keep following you. And then other opportunities come from that, or may not come from that. But I think, like, if you're posting every day, like, you're spending a few hours a day, it's getting the right content, captions, audience. There's so much of, it's not just posting a video and go, hey, there it is. Like, some people do that, that's fine, but there's a lot more involved. And if you speak to content creators around the world, you'll see how much work is involved. It's a full-time job for them. And you see, I don't post every day now,
Yeah.
but you know, it's a lot of work for the people that do, and it's not, and they have teams as well to help them as well. So it's all about, you know, if you do post every day, it's all about scaling and how can you make your boat go faster, you know, hiring people to help you do this and that. So yeah, there's a lot of work involved, and it's not easy, and you need to be willing to work and put in the hard work for no monetary return in the short term. Expect that, and then obviously if stuff comes out of that, it's a bonus. But you see, like most people who worked hard and came from nothing, they worked their butt off and, you know, didn't get anything for a while, and then it's all about working hard.
Love that. And so give me a ballpark figure. You do a post today, and like how many hours in total for the day or the next 2 days have you actually worked on, you know, so there's, like you said, there's coming up with the post, there's doing the capture, doing that, then there's responding to the comments, I'm sure there's responding to all the DMs, like as a ballpark figure, block of hours, how many hours do you reckon that would take?
I'd say 3 to 5.
Okay. You're a fast typer, because I've seen the number of comments you get, and yeah, I tell you what, when we've collaborated before, I see it, and then I just see like streams of Jason Fong's comments, Jason, and I'm just like, wow.
I live on my phone.
It's impressive. Yeah, I'm almost scared to see your screen time.
I don't want to see that.
That's so good. So like, you know, again, that, you know, as we're building those opportunities, is there anything on the horizon for you and the brand that you would love? You know, what we've talked about is, you know, the potential of, you know, what can come from it. But is there anything specific that you would love to go, hey, like from this I can do X? You know, so whatever that might be, is there anything like that?
Yeah, I'd love to show people how to build a brand, and how to build a brand on Instagram, how to sort of do what I've done. So I like to share that, and I've got a lot of clients and people that, you know, that I have that I help out. I think, yeah, it's all about sharing that knowledge, and at the end of the day, we all want to leave a legacy in some way. How do we leave a legacy? What industry do we do it in? What are you passionate about? How are you going to do that? So for me, it's building this amazing brand, this Bali brand, and then, you know, inspiring sort of the next generation of entrepreneurs, or, you know, travel entrepreneurs that want to do a similar thing that I was doing. So I love to sort of mentor people and help people out, and, you know, whether it's mindset or travel or, yeah.
And with that, so kind of digging into the mentorship is like, you know, we've talked about the adding value, but is there anything that you see people are doing today that you're like, that you commonly see, that you're like, you're missing this is the gap that you're missing, which is why you're not, you know, your trajectory is you get to 1,000 followers and that's it, but you're not kind of breaking through? Is there any like big thing that you're like, this is the missing gap for you?
I think it's all about chasing the passion, your passion.
Okay.
It's so important, because you see people doing this, or they want to do this because they want to make X amount of dollars.
Yes.
Which is understandable when you're young and whatever, you want to make as much money as possible or whatever, that's fine. We all go through those stages. But I think what you'll find is, as you're found in your career, it's like, if you follow what you're really good at, eventually the results will come. And the byproduct of that is money. Money will come after that. Yeah. And I just think, like, a lot of people, especially, you know, it's in society, it's all about, you know, okay, how much money can I make? How much money, you know? And it's, if you follow that direction, more often than not, it doesn't work out. But if you follow your passion and you do the hard work now, you'll see the rewards, and you'll see the breakthrough. It will come. So
I love that.
I just think it's just never giving up, and, yeah, focusing on that passion and what you're really good at, because you can build your brand on that and be known as that expert.
Yes.
In that profession. Yeah, it's so good to meet people, successful people like yourself in real estate, or athletes, because they're really good in their fields. You know, these celebrities and sports people follow me, or I have relationships with them because they love Bali, and they know that I position myself as that person that can, help them out with their dream vacation or investing in Bali or anything to do with Bali. So that's that would be my sort of advice to people who are trying to get that breakthrough.
Awesome. So if you don't mind, I'm going to add my little layer on top of that because it's something I've been thinking about recently around this idea of working on your passion. And I guess it's for me specifically, and again, everybody's very different. Is when you hear that, as if I put myself in the audience shoes, if I hear that idea of working your passion, and you're like, but the particular passion I have may only get me to this far. And so my example, right? I used to be a chef. That was my lifelong passion. But I did it for 3 years and I realized, well, okay, I'm working 60 hours a week. I'm on 42 grand a year. And like you said, money isn't everything, but like at that 42 grand a year for 60 hours a week, you break that down. it's hard to get my petrol to get to my car there. And so, but the idea is like, then I actually started to lose my passion. And but I was reflecting on this because I'm, thinking about like how you do that in the day to day. And I think for people to understand, it's not just about like exactly what you're passionate about, but you can find passion in your work. Right, so for me, it's like where we started was real estate signboards. If I sat here and said, "Hey, Jason, I just love signboards," I'd be lying to you, right? But like the passion for me was like watching us, the feeling of building that business, the feeling of you getting that next customer, that satisfaction when they said, "That is incredible work. How did you guys do it so fast?" That was then the passion, and I followed that down. So I guess for anybody who has those moments for themselves to go like, "But my passion is here, and I just don't think it'll get me to where I want to be in life," it's like you can find the feeling of passion in something else.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
You can challenge me.
and you can also find I also encourage to work multiple jobs or have different revenue streams as well to allow you to get to where you need to get to. You don't need to just work 9 to 5 and then on your passion and that's it, and that's not helping. That means you need to do other stuff to get to where you need to get to. So you need to work hard. Like I've worked till 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night for the last 10, 20 years.
Really?
Yeah. So, and it's like, there's sacrifices out of that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sitting there watching Netflix and I'm working every night. But I love it.
Yes.
I'm passionate about it and I know where it's going to get me.
Yes.
So I've created this habit where I don't do it and go, oh shit, I have to do this. I do it because I love it, because I know where it's going to get me in the long term. And it gives me the flexibility to do other things.
Yes.
Because I'm sacrificing that. Well, I can go and do this later, or I can go travel to here because of this.
Yeah.
So having multiple revenue streams, working harder, working extra jobs, finding different ways to generate incomes to allow you to go and focus more on your passion. Look at yourself, perfect example. You've worked in real estate, you've been in the business for a long time, you've just sold your business and done really well, and now what are you focusing on? Your passion.
And my business.
And your business. And your business. Yes, your business, but it's sort of, you're in this position now where you've worked so hard that it's now allowed you to go and launch this cookbook and focus on cooking which you love, and it's giving you the freedom.
Totally. Yeah. And that's exactly right. And the reason I say because I think because with what I've been showcasing, I guess, to everybody is from the perception to them is they see just the cooking and now the business. And it kind of looks like, is that all he does day to day? This is like either I'm on annual leave, weekend, or mornings and evenings, and then the day is I'm still very much working at the business. And the reason I say that is not, hey, look at me. It's to help people understand that like you can fill up your bucket. To your exact point is like it doesn't all have to come from one place. So one of the things I've noticed from being in business is you see the different generations that they come into the business. It's a funny concept for me to say that when I'm 30, but you see it, and they're looking for their entire bucket to be filled from the one job. And if you have that, it's really hard. Like I want my creativity bucket filled, I want my friendship bucket, I want the social, I want all these things. It's almost impossible unless you go and create it. And so what I'm doing here is quite simply, it's like, I want the feeling of being able to give back to the world. That's part of my bucket that I want to fill up. And so hey, I need to do that outside of work. Like I want to, continually push my passion for food. I got to do that outside of work. And so you just like you said, for different revenue streams, it's like different streams of like filling up your passion in your bucket to have that feeling of like a full, happy life.
Exactly, I'd agree, 100%. Like, I don't see you working 9 to 5.
Exactly.
Like, I can guarantee you every night or every morning after your sauna and ice bath daily that you're working in some way.
Yeah.
So, but you love it. Like, I've had the last 20, 25 years of work, and I've loved what I've done. Every day I wake up and I can't wait to go to work. And it's just fortunate to have that, but yeah, I see people like, oh, I don't want to go to work today, it sucks, whatever. It's like,
It hurts when you hear
yeah,
that.
it's like, I don't know how, like you've got to find that job that you love. And
So let's get practical, right? So I think of the size of your audience, you're going to have all different generations, all different people seeing who you are. But to your point, you want to inspire the next generation, and that may not necessarily be around social media, because I understand from you, it's also the entrepreneurship, the business. It's just that was part of your pathway to get to where you want your business to be. So my question is, I've just finished school. What should I like? And to I don't yet know my passion. Where do I start?
if I was 18 again, I would be finding a way to travel the world and experience different cultures, meet people, go live in different countries, make as many mistakes as possible while you're in your teens, 20s.
Yeah.
And the more you travel, the more you will appreciate life in Australia, but also appreciate other cultures and how they work. Like, the reality is Australia is an amazing country, but we're a very small blip on the radar compared to the rest of the world. And when you actually go and experience the rest of the world, it's phenomenal. It's such an eye-opener. And I haven't even been to the rest of the world. I've only been certain parts, but the parts that I've been to, it was like, wow, what's going on here? This is incredible. So I really would encourage people to go and travel and take the time out, or find a way to make that work. Go work a job while you're traveling. Lots of people do it, and just experience different cultures, and out of that come more opportunities as well. So, but just have fun, find yourself, find your passion. Most people don't know what they want to do when they're younger, so it's exploring all that, and then finding your calling. And then when you find it, you'll know, because you'll have that fire in the belly, and you'll say, I absolutely love this, I want to do this, and then go for gold.
I love that. That's so cool, because you know what? There's so many, so many business and entrepreneur people that you hear the story. It's like, well, you will get that head start in life if you leave school, go straight there, start working, invest, da 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 da. But it's like, it's very true what you're saying. It's like you need to, you do have a bit of time up your sleeve in those early years, and I think when at those early years you can get a bit scared, like, is life going to run away? It's even to the point, you can go and try and start a business if you want to give it a go. It's like more about just giving things a go and then finding out what's working, and to your point, what creates that fire in your belly. And I feel like I'm sharing with another man who that feeling of that fire in the belly, and there's nothing quite like that feeling of getting up and doing it is so much easier when you have that fire inside.
It makes it so much easier if you can find that. Like, it's just it's a game changer. It is.
And so now we're 30 years old, okay, and we're hearing this and we're going, damn. I'm doing my 9 to 5. I don't have that. I'm extrapolating out till I'm 50. I can see the kind of maybe the corporate ladder I'm climbing, or I can't see anything into the future. Like, what's Jason's advice to that person?
I would still, they've still got years up their sleeve.
Yeah.
I'd still be doing it. I mean, it's never too late. And I sort of didn't travel as much as I should have when I was younger. But now I'm sort of doing it now, right? So, and I think as you get more older, you get to that stage where you want to go travel more. Like, my parents are like exploring the whole world now. They're retired, etc. I'm a fair way away from that, but I love to travel. So, I really think that it's going out and exploring the world. Like, there's nothing can beat travel. It's the best education. You learn so much. You know, there's a place for university, there's a place for doing your degrees, absolutely. But so many people, and you see some of the most successful entrepreneurs who haven't been to college, who dropped out of school, and it was all experience, and they're absolutely crushing it. And I love that. I think the world is changing and evolving, and I think it's all about experience. That's gold. You know, it's when people are looking to hire you for jobs or whatever, it's all about the experience. If you don't have that experience, it's a lot. You know, if you have it, you're way in front. So I think the more you can go experience different cultures, I'm a big fan of that. Awesome. Of course, colleges and universities amazing. Some professions you need that, but there's other professions that you don't. And for entrepreneurs, experience is gold.
And how does that experience show through? So to your point around your CV, when you think about those experiences, is it you think it because it's going to like change the way you attack things? Like what does that like look like from a practical sense?
Yeah, it's the way you attack things and approach, problem solving as well, and having the experience of how to solve those problems, learning from mistakes. So entrepreneurs make a lot of mistakes, and they might fail 9 times, and that 10th time is amazing. So it's learning from all your experience, and as you get older, you get more wiser and learn from that. And money can't buy that. Like a degree can't buy that.
Yes. We've talked a lot about the Boss of Bali page. We've talked about value. We've talked about entrepreneurship. What haven't I asked you, or what haven't you been asked before on podcasts that you want to share?
I think the next evolution for myself is to show people how to build a brand, how to have the right mindset, that love entrepreneurship. It's all about for me networking, hustling, adding value. They're sort of my values.
Yeah.
The values that I like to show people and like to educate people on.
Yeah.
Because there's just anything's possible. It's just having that right mindset. And if I can help people in that way and add value to them there and make a difference there, awesome, that's great.
And with the entrepreneurship journey, so of course, most people that know you and see you, it's through the lens of your page. But I know you from that personal level. It's like I know from an entrepreneurship level, you're doing other things that may not be showcased. Like, what do you do in that space to grow yourself, to nurture yourself, to grow other people? Like, how do you push in that direction?
So that's about networking and meeting new people outside. It's basically building an ecosystem of incredible people from all walks of life, all around the world. And hanging out with people and learning from people who are on a much higher level than myself. And that's how I'll be able to grow. But at the same time, adding value to those people as well. It's got to be that two-way street. So I love sitting in front of people that have done really well or that are on this this higher level, right? So it's like a game. Snakes and ladders are trying to get up and meet these amazing people so you can learn and get better and grow. And that's where the phase of life I'm in at the moment. So I'm trying to find those people and build those relationships. And I feel I'm in my element there when I have these meetings. I just love it. It's just I had one yesterday with this high-profile business person in Australia, and he's been in business 40 plus years. That I feel like I was in my element there. Build a relationship, start talking about golf, which I love. He was a golfer, we could have talked for hours.
That's awesome. The takeaway I want to hammer home there for you is you're building relationships grounded in authenticity, right? So to your point there is like, well, it wasn't about business, it was the common ground is like, I know the common ground is going to create a relationship, but I know you authentically love golf. You love golf. And so I can imagine, that would have just, absolutely. You're chewing each other's ears off. I know Kai, when he found out you wanted to play golf, he wanted to chew your ear off about golf too. So I think that's really important with the networking piece. And it's something that I learned, because in the earlier days of business is I wasn't good at networking. And that's because I think the networking events I went to, the couple, like not many, like I didn't feel I was authentically myself, because I was, a 20-year-old and I'm in a room with 40, 50, 60, nothing wrong with that, but it's just like that relatable nature. It's like a little bit hard to relate. And I was like, if I'm showcasing someone who I'm not, it doesn't feel right. Yeah. But now, these days, like it's that common ground. And so that's really, a really important piece. But another thing I want to ask you about, to your point, you left that discussion and your friend said to you, hey, you crushed that. And when I hear that, I think you've got the right friends around you. Do you know what I mean? Like that is a friend who's lifting you up because they're seeing that conversation went well. Yeah. Like how important has it been to surround yourself with people that will push you up, will give you that advice? And sometimes it's positive and sometimes it's not positive, but it's for the right reasons.
Yeah, you need those friends that are going to tell you, hey, you're doing the wrong thing here, or I wouldn't recommend to do that, or be careful of this. You need those people, but you also need those people who are going to lift you. Otherwise, if you're hanging around negative people all the time, it's not going to get you anywhere. When you build up a reputation and you, because you've got all these long-term relationships, you're obviously doing something the right way. And it's just, in the long term, I could go to clients that I've had 10, 20 years ago, and I have an awesome conversation with them. I may have not known them for 10 years, but we had that great relationship or business relationship back then. So, it means you're on the right track. Yeah. And it's like that drive, that hunger, the level of confidence can get you to a place, but it's like, maybe to that next level that might be perceived as, an ego and might restrict you from building the network, surrounding yourself with those people, who might lift you up to the next place, and you'll only get to here. Exactly. Yeah.
Jason, Boss of Bali.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Main course.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And thank you very much for being here.